Peace, my family. How y'all doing out there today? I hope you guys are doing good. And I just want to send you guys that good healing energy your way and hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right and that good nine mind. So I came on here today to share another question and answer from Dr. Malachi York's book called Man from Planet Ritz. That's right, Man from Planet Ritz. And this question is, what is genetics? And this is Dr. Malachi York's answer. Genetics is the branch of biology that deals with heredity. The word genetics is a combining form meaning pertaining to genesis or generations. Genesis itself means the origination of a thing or bringing about to a new, or the formation. The word genetics consists of the prefix gene, meaning something produced, or gene meaning an agent transmuted from parent to offspring. The suffix is fx, meaning pertaining to nature of a thing. The genes themselves are complex chemical packets. They are a part of the large DNA molecules found in the nuclei of cells by influencing the interactions of the cells. The genes direct the formation of tissues that are formed to build the different organs and structures of the body. In general, DNA molecules certain the code for the production of chemicals through or known as the enzymes. The genes, as active parts of the DNA molecules, contain the code of the reproduction for various substances the cell needs, and if they are to live or grow, thus by controlling enzymes and by somehow influencing the interactions of the cells, the genes direct the formation of tissues that are formed to build the different organs and structures of the body. Genes are responsible for almost all the features that make you look different from everybody else. The composition of your body organs and governed by your gene structure. Your hair, your skin, your eyes, your color, your blood type, and intelligence. In the nucleus of every cell in your body, there are at least 1,000,000 genes. Altogether, they do much to decide what you will look like and how you will think. It is the fourth generation of animals and plants that the recessive traits show up. What does this mean? Question, and this is Dr. Malachi York's answer. This means you are subtotal of your experiences. Let me rewind that back. This means you are a subtotal of your experiences, meaning whatever you take in, whatever you are exposed to, whatever affects you physically, helps you to make your personality, which can become a part of your DNA and your genetic coding. It doesn't matter if the father or the mother has the physical afflictions, it can be passed on to the child, much like any other disease, such as diabetes, arthritis, sickle cell anemia, cancer, or mental instability, or physical disabilities. These examples are understood to be inherited traits from your genetics. But you are about those, excuse me, but what about those things that are from external influence? For instance, if a football player breaks his leg, that break can become a part of his genetics. And then if he has a child by someone, that trait can be passed on to the child and become a part of the child's genetics. So, even though the child will not be born with a broken leg, the child will be or have a weak spot. And that is why it is very important that you watch what you ingest while carrying a child in the womb. This just doesn't apply to food, which would cause physical defects. If the diet is poor, but what is also ingested mentally, which give thought forms to the child that affect the way he thinks and feels. And, of course, your emotional state. Once the child is 3 to 4 months, he can hear outside the influences as well as affect not only by the sounds he or she may hear, but also the vibrations can be interrupting to the unborn child. Accordingly, if someone in your family was greedy for materialistic things, it can turn up in a child as gluttony, which is another form of greed for something. Or they also can hear things like intelligence of their parent or intellect of the parent. The intelligence of the child doesn't have to come from the IQ level of his or her parents. You must also take into consideration what the parents were doing mentally when the child was conceived, and the conditions that the child was conceived in are just as important. If the parents were both working at jobs that made them use brain power and broad, the child is more likely to come out with higher levels of intelligence. I say this because people that are considerably extremely intelligent don't always have intelligent children. Let's suppose this children was working, or this couple was working in a bank using calculations that definitely work the brain. During conception of their child, however, during their conception of the second child, the wife goes off to stay at home, and that child can come out less intelligent because the brain of the mother is not being utilized as much as before. Similarly, have you ever noticed that children both born to older couples are usually smarter than or learn faster than the child that was born with a younger couple? That is because as you get older, you become wise. I don't mean to age, but you inherit wisdom and your soul ages. This is what is meant when you hear the saying, old people's children are smarter. When I say the old ages, I do not mean to imply that it becomes older, as does the physical body of a person. What I mean is that it is grown up. A nourished elder by space and time, wisdom and intellect. A soul that overstands by the way of his inner heart. Some say the temple of the human soul is built by 3 master masons, personifying wisdom, love, and service. Service is the vehicle by which one is able to travel. Love is zeal and speed, the source of all things. Wisdom makes you perceptive of the source of all things. Love is the zeal and speed the one's travel, and wisdom is the way one travels. Wisdom makes you perceptive of the source of all things. It raises your intellect intuitively so that you may appreciate all things and ultimately come to know yourself in old age. You receive the benefits of a graduate. And if you were an intuitive student, in some cases, if the father is older and mother is younger, it is intelligent. Then the child has an equal combination. Next question. Is the nature of the child inherited from the parents also? Question. And this is Dr. Malachi Zier's answer. Yes. You get 33 and a third from your mother, 33 and a third from your father, and then you get 33 and a third, and that is you. With the last 33 and a third, in mind, you don't have to be like neither parent and can choose how you want to be by your will. If both parents are considered negative, the child still can come out positive. If both parents are positive, a negative child can still be produced because it doesn't just depend on these 2 people. However, you have to go back 4 generations to the 30 people before this child was conceived. As mentioned before, this is a change in the genes. As mentioned before, there is a change in the genes in the 4th generation. And that is the end of his answer. So, I just thought that I share and let y'all know it's all love, my family, and peace.